Right, hello, it's me again. Right, rush video today, guys. I have 1 hour till the start of this EUL season. I've just come back off a 2 week holiday. It's the first chance I've had to make this video. Obviously, there's been roster change and stuff in the time I've been away. So, this is my predictions for how this stage of the EUL is going to go. We have a few changes, I think, slightly different from usual. I'm going to have an MVP, a rookie of this season, and a least valuable player. So, yeah, let's get into it. And to start off, we'll just go through the rankings of teams this season. Bottom, Fnatic. I don't think there's much to say about Fnatic. I think they're a team of players that are mostly past their best. Not saying they're bad players by any means, but I don't think they're good enough to compete at the top level of EUL anymore. I think EUL as a whole is quite weak at the moment. You've got, obviously, there's one team at the top. One team. I'm not going to say it yet, because spoilers. I think we all know who it is. But there's one team at the top, the rest of it's quite weak. And I just think Fnatic are the weakest of them all with players. They're just still good, but not quite as good as they have been in the past. So quickly on to the next one, Wild. Wild, I think, are going to surprise a few people there. I think they're going to have some upsets this season. So I think their opening game is BDS. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, BDS is their opening game, which is a difficult one. I don't think it's going to show immediately. I think some of the players they have on their team are really, really underappreciated players. I think Packball is a really, really good IGL, personally. That's my opinion on it. So yeah, I think they will surprise a few people this season. Wolves, yeah, I think they're just going to miss out on playoffs this time, like, just barely. Obviously, they got through to the final of the playoffs last time, lost to G2 on the way to Manchester. Yeah, I don't think they'll quite make it. I don't think they've strengthened well enough. I just don't think it's going to be the season. I think after this season, I think we will see plenty of changes for us. I think we will see an improvement. But at this stage, I just don't see it happening for them quite there. Next up, yeah, Ents. Ents, I don't think they're gonna. I think Ents and Wolves here are quite interchangeable. I don't see them being very strong. I don't see them competing quite to the level of the teams just above them. But I think they'll make playoffs. I don't think they'll cause many upsets in playoffs. I think they'll be gone first round. A solid team, good core, but I don't think much to push on further. Especially once it gets to an international scene, if they do make the next major, don't think they'll do much there either, because EU is not good enough at the moment. So in fifth, I've got G2. I really, really hope the gamble they've taken on Blaz and Laura pays off, because Laura, I think, could be a really, really good player. I do. Blaz, I think, is, as it is already, a very good player. I don't know how he'll adapt to EU and how well that's going to go for him, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it works out, because personally, from back in the day, back on the old Penta roster, from the start of Siege, I've been a fan of G2, and I've missed out watching the last SI win because I was taking quite a break from Siege. I would love to see them come back to those heights again, but I don't see it happening anytime soon with the roster they've got right now. I just don't think they want it enough, it feels like. And then Virtus Pro, I think this is another roster that's been around for so long. Joystick, man. Oh, Joystick. Back in the days of Team Empire, they were the only thing that could stop G2 back then. But yeah, again, it's an old roster. They're still good. I think the age of the players in this roster, in terms of how long they've been in Siege, has worked better than it has for players on Fnatic like Kanto. Kanto was, at one point, probably the best fragger in the world. Then Joystick took over that mantle and has been better than him consistently since that, I believe. Obviously, not the best anymore. Still very, very capable. You've got, every other player on Virtus Pro is a high quality player. Yeah, it's a strong team. They could go further. They could push up. Third, second, they won't win it. let's be honest, nobody other than one team is winning EUL this season. But they could quite easily push on for third, second. Yeah, it's still a strong team. And third, I have Secret. Again, I've said it. First Pro, Secret, and second could all interchange quite easily. I think it's it's one of those ones where a few game days go your way, and suddenly you're above the rest. It's going to be very tight between, I think, up to seventh to second is going to be very tight. It's going to be flipping around a lot. I think the rest of it, I believe, could be quite set in stone. But this section here is so indecisive. Such, like, the quality is so tight together. It's just, honestly, could go either way. But I have Secret in third. I think they have the good core. They've made a few nice changes. I can't remember exactly the changes they made, but they've made some changes that I remember knowing were improvements. So Secret could do well this season. ITB, again, I don't think ITB as an international team are that strong. I think they've shown it at international events. They aren't actually competing against the top teams in NA, the top teams from Brazil. I think even APAC have shown that they can do better than ITB. But EUL is so weak and so devoid of talent right now that I think they will get that second spot in EU. I think there's just not teams better than them internationally. I don't think they would qualify for any major if you put them into any of the regions apart from APAC. I think every other region is just so much stronger, but they're in EU. They're the second best team in EU in my eyes at the moment. So that's just how it is, I think. And then, no surprise, BDS. I have a video on BDS and why they're so good. I think they are currently the best team in the world. I don't think it's hard to make that argument. You know, they won the Esports World Cup. They lost yesterday ridiculously on form, Beast Coast in the Manchester Major. That's all that's been able to stop them. That's it. Nothing stopped them for 6+ months. Did they lose one game in EUL round robin? I think that's it. They've been so good for however long now. I don't see it stopping anytime soon. League Fact is currently the best player in the world and my MVP for the season. Like, I don't think there is anything that will stop BDS this season. Like, it has to be. It's not going to be other teams stepping up and performing well. It's going to be BDS choking if they don't finish first here. They are the best team in the world, which makes them by default the best team in EU. With EU being such a weak region, I see nobody really even coming close to competing with them this year. Now, the rookie pick, I have Freck. Just come in. I've known, well, not known personally, but I've seen Freck play for years. I'm thinking I've watched him first saw him play maybe 4, 5, maybe even 6 years ago. He was in before he even started playing competitively, and then I saw him get into the tier 4, the tier 3, that sort of scene, and he is such a gunner. He is mechanically, he is so gifted. I think I can draw comparisons to Bolo in sort of the way he likes to play. He plays sort of flex operators, but he can play them aggressively. He can play them to get the picks that he needs to get, and he will win his good fights. Because his aim is something else, I promise you. He is such a good player that he will surprise a lot of people this season. I would not be surprised if Wild lose him next stage to a bigger team, you know, maybe the likes of Secret, ITB might pick him up. That is the level I think he will be reaching. He's a very good player. I think Packball, as I've said before, is a really good IGL. I think he will be able to get the best out of him. So I think Rookie of the Season, there's quite a few this season, but I think Freck. And least valuable player, it's so painful for me to say this. It is so painful. But Counter K, he was the lowest rated player in EU last season, so it's not even like it's that crazy of an out there pick. But he's just not what he once was. He's still good at the game, etc. But the game has moved, and I don't think he's developed enough as a player to stick at the top of the game anymore, unfortunately. yeah, it's such a shame because I loved watching him play on that old G2 world dominating roster. He was so good, but I just don't think he's there anymore. Um, yeah, it's just sad to see. And he's playing against G2 today. That's his opening match. It's just, yeah, I don't. It really is depressing for me to say that. But it's a very quick video, guys. You know, I have videos like on BDS. Please go watch that BDS video. I beg. Because I think it's a good video. I don't think it's done very well, but I think it's a good video. It explains just why BDS are so good. Leak fact. But yeah, it's I think obviously like I've said, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 are interchangeable. I think it's a coin toss between nearly all of those teams as to where they will finish this season. BDS will win it. I don't think it's difficult to say that. Fnatic, I think, will bottom it. Maybe Wild. But I don't know, I just see some of the talent that Wild have pushing it through. You know, Freck, Packball, I think, are the two most important players on that team in my eyes. But yeah, I need to get this video just sorted, gone, because the league starts in less than an hour. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.